Hey guys, we want to continue with our PHP programming. In this lesson we're going to talk about some common operators that we can use to conduct operations on variables. And the first thing we want to discuss is operators for numbers, numerical variables. So let's get into our test.php file. Make sure your XAMPP is turned on, and let's create a variable called x. Let's call it 5. Let's put in 5 into the variable x, and let's put in 10 into the variable y. And now the first thing we want to echo is echo, which means display on the screen, variable x plus variable y, which I think we already did last lesson. So if you echo that and you refresh my refresh the test.php, it comes up with the number 15. Actually, I'm just going to echo a phrase so you can see that's the start of our PHP program. So this should make it clearer. Oops, forgot the quotation mark. So PHP program starts here, so whatever is below that is our program. And so what we want to do now is show you guys some other operators. Now, one thing that you could do is you could create another variable called z and put in a variable z is equal to variable x plus variable y, and then you can echo variable z instead. So you can also do that if you wish. Sometimes that's a bit easier, so you can see it works. It's a bit easier than putting in $x plus $y when you echo it, especially later on in the program. If you're gonna type in the same thing again and again, sometimes if you're gonna use the variable z more than once, you might as well define it in the beginning. So we could have, for example, echo echo variable y minus variable x, so that will turn to 5. Oops, minus variable x, so that'll turn to 5. So in case you forgot what I'm doing, basically I'm editing some code, pressing Ctrl S to save it, and then I go back to my browser and press Ctrl R to refresh. Okay, so echo z. Now what if I had variable y times variable x, and I save that? Then this should turn into 50. Now if we do divide, variable y divided by variable x, now this should turn into 10 divided by 5, which is 2. Now let's talk about the modulus operator, which is a simple percentage sign. And what that means is 10 divided by 5, what is the remainder? So we're not asking how many times does 5 go into 10. We're asking, is there any remainder, and if so, what is it when 10 is divided by 5? Now right now it's going to come up with 0 because 10 divided by 5 does not have any remainder. So if you press Ctrl R, it should give you 0, which it has done here. Now, if I change this to 11, 11 divided by 5 equals 2, remainder 1, so it should come up with 1. Modulus is pretty useful in programming later on once you get into it. So these are all operations you can conduct on numerical variables. Let's talk about variables with string. Alright, so let's talk about, let's make two more variables, a and b, and let's make A hello, and let's make B world. Now if you echo string A, obviously it's just going to come up with hello. So yes, it's come up. Let me just echo a BR HTML tag in between so we can get a line wrap. So we got hello at the bottom. Now the first operator for string is concatenation. Sorry, I had a bit of a stuttering episode there. Concatenation operator. So if I put in string A, a variable A, dot variable B, dot is the concatenation operator, and if you save that, refresh, it'll combine the two strings for you together into the output. Right, now you can obviously create another variable that is made up of string A concatenation string B and just echo string C, and that'll obviously just do the same thing as before. Now if you put in the concatenation variable and a quotation mark with a space in between, what that's going to do is that's going to add in a bit of space in between hello and world. So if you refresh that, it's got a bit of space in between. Okay, and now what we want to do is talk about assignment operators. Now what assignment operators do is basically the same as the equal sign, but we're gonna modify the contents of the variable by whatever the assignment operator does. So for example, variable z, I'm going to modify the x variable by adding 3 into it. So I go plus equal 3, and what that does is it modifies the x variable to add 3 to the x variable. So 3 plus 5, and then we put it in the z variable. So if you do that and display it, it should say 8 here. So that's what happened. Or obviously you can simply once you have updated the x variable, so once you have put in x is plus equal 3, what that means is the x variable is now 8. If you simply echo the x variable, it'll just say 8, right? So x plus equal 20. Alright, so we're echoing the x variable again. X variable has already been modified by adding 20 to it. So 5 plus 20 is 25. So it says 25. So we've changed the x variable. So that's what the assignment operator does. It changes the x variable. Other assignment operators are obviously minus, times, divide. We'll just show you the divide one. So x variable divide equal 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. So the x variable now contains the number 1, and when we display it, it'll just say 1. Right, so it's updated it with the number 1. So these are the assignment operators, and string variables obviously has assignment operators as well. So for example, let's say the string A, let's display the string A with the variable A, but let's add variable A with the word world. So what that does is it adds the word world and a space after the string hello within the variable A, and if we echo variable A on the screen, it should still say hello world. Let's just show you that it works. Hello world 2, hello world 2. Okay, so now you can also do the same thing with minus, for example, we can display x minus equal 5, and that should say 5 minus 5 is 0, so it should come up with 0 there. Okay, I'll let you guys experiment with that, have a lot of fun, try to do different things to what I've said in the tutorial, see if it works. So thanks for watching the tutorial on operators. See you guys next time.